Welcome to the Stress-Free Dentist Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Eric Block. As always, I want to inspire, entertain, and educate you on the best tools and technologies out there. My goal is to help make your practice and career more profitable, efficient, and most importantly, more enjoyable. And check out all of my nonfiction and children's books on Amazon, and check out the stressfreedentist.com for any upcoming events. And if you're feeling you're a dental professional that's burnt out, or you just feel stuck or want to get to that next level, visit the International Academy of Dental Life Coaches or www.iadlc.com, and we'll get you matched up with a life coach that understands dentistry. I also wanted to thank our amazing sponsor, Ekwa Marketing. They have helped me and my practice over the years to improve with SEO and website performance. And to find out how you can make your practice dominate in your area, go to www.equa.com/MSMSFD to book your complimentary meeting. Again, that's www.ekwa.com/MSMSFD.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode, and I'm joined by recurring guest, Naren Arulrajah, who's the CEO of Ekwa Marketing. Naren, thanks again for joining us.
Hey, Eric, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for doing this episode with me. I'm looking forward to our conversation today.
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about actually my office and how I went from a weak SEO or search engine optimization to getting 60 new patient calls a month from Google. And actually, quick recap, last time we talked about Google reviews and how important Google reviews were for my office. And then we can get into more about my SEO. But can you go over some key points about our last conversation about how important Google reviews are?
Absolutely. Google reviews are, really, really, really important because, it's one of those things that if you want to and you are committed to it, you can use to grow the number of new patients you get without really having to hire a marketing company. And also the other reason Google reviews are important is people today, there is science and studies behind it, won't come to you if you don't have a lot of 4 to 5 star Google reviews, and those reviews continue to grow. So people are very biased, and again, for the right reasons. Like you don't want to go to a restaurant with 3-star reviews, right? Why would you? Because you don't want to have a bad experience. So you are very selective when you choose businesses because of their reviews. Same way your patients are very selective in deciding whether to come to you or not based on Google reviews. So it's really, really important. And the key points we covered, are, like what are the goals you want to set? For example, you want to get 10 or more Google reviews a month. That's a minimum. If you can do better, more power to you. We talked about how to ask for Google reviews. That's something that a lot of people don't know, what to do and how to do it. We got into the importance of Google Maps. Like Google Maps can drive a lot of new patients for you because, a lot of people today, they don't even have to go to your website. They can see the maps listing on the maps itself, meaning your Google My Business listing, see how many reviews you have, how many stars you have, and literally click that link to call your office. Or, sometimes if you have a book an appointment link, they can even do that. They can even use that link to book an appointment. So it becomes really, really important to focus on Google reviews for the 2 reasons I mentioned about.
Yeah, we're going to be doing these marketing episodes every month, so everyone can come back and check out the next episode next month or go back and review any previous episodes. Actually, the second thing that I did is to rank on Google, and today we're actually seen by 90,000 plus people searching on Google in the month of October. And this information is from Google Analytics. And your team shares this with me monthly, so I get a report. And we actually got 70 new patient calls from Google tracking our specific number in October of 2024. We're ranking for hundreds of keywords, and 90,000 people are searching on Google. Can you talk a little bit about that for me in my office?
Absolutely. You guys are doing extremely well, and I'm really happy. We have been able to work together now. Is it 4 years now, Eric?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we have been working together very closely for 4+ years. And like you said, you're getting more than 60 new patient calls just from Google. How do we know this? We put a tracking number so we know how many calls are coming in. And this was not an overnight success. I think by end of year one, you're probably around 25, 30 new patients, and slowly it kept growing and growing. And today we are at 60. And you asked me to talk about what's that secret sauce. What did we do over those 4 years, and especially in the year one, to significantly change your SEO from really weak to extremely strong, where you're getting 60 new patient calls just from Google SEO alone. Now, the advantage of Google SEO is, if done right, your cost shouldn't have to go up and up and up, because you don't have to invest more and more and more money. So it's a great way to get better results over time as well. So what are the things we did? So we have 250 people, and they're broken into 14 teams. 9 of those teams are focused on SEO. And there are 6 groups of things that Google cares about, 6 buckets of things, as I like to refer to them, that Google cares about, that you need to pay attention to day in and day out, week in and week out. So what we did is we used these 9 teams focused on SEO to do those 6 buckets or groups of things on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. What are those 6 groups of things you need to pay attention to? NAP stands for name, address, phone number, consistency. There are hundreds of directories out there. And if nobody is managing your name, address, and phone number across these directories and making them consistent, just keep at it, you are not going to do well with regards to your competition as far as NAP is concerned. Remember, 5% of you will get 95% of the business from Google for free. So Google makes it really hard. So 95% of you won't benefit from this. So Google is looking at who are the top 5% when it comes to NAP. So you have to keep at it. Second one is original content. So the way you write articles, again, I think we have a deeper dive question, so we'll get into it in more detail. That plays a huge role. So what is original content? What are Google's rules? And keep paying attention to it. Keep in mind, Google's rules keep changing. So just because Google said something 2 months ago doesn't mean doing what Google told you 2 months ago will work today. So you have to keep up. Google changes its rules, or what they call the algorithm, 3,000 times a year. That's approximately 10 times a day. So, and again, doesn't mean that every algorithm is changing, or every rule is changing, or every one of these 6 buckets are changing 3,000 times, but each one probably is changing, 50, 100 times at least. Third one is quality backlinks. Like, who's linking to you? Do they comply with Google standards? Are they the kind of right links? Again, there's a concept of good links and bad links. Are they good links that's going to help you? If not, are you disavowing them? So there's a lot of nuances to quality backlinks. Really, really important. The fourth one is, Google reviews, which we kind of touched on. This is the only one of those 6 buckets where you have to play a role. Like, me or no marketing company can help you happy clients write reviews. Only you know who these people are, and you can do it. Of course, there is technology that can help you, but a human has to be involved, and you have to own it and project manage this. The idea of getting good Google reviews. The fifth one is Google EEAT. It used to be EAT, now it's called EEAT. It's experience, expertise, authority, and trust. Again, I don't want to go too deep. I'll just give you a quick flavor. If you are trustworthy, you have good reviews, you want to incorporate those in your website in the right way. You have a bio. So if you're an expert and you have a bio, meaning you have special qualifications, you have the degree to be the authority in that particular topic, you want to showcase that, right? So you want to position yourself as an authority figure. Even like you can go a step above and like incorporate videos where you are not only have the credentials to be the expert, but also you are seen as the experts because you have talked about that topic, not just on your website, but in other websites, and those websites are included. So Google EEAT is really, really, really important. So that's the 5th item that Google cares about. And the last one is something called Google Lighthouse Score, where every single page on your website is given a score in 5 different areas, a score of 0 to 100. The closer you are and you're between 90 and 100, the better you do. Now, like anything else with Google is very transparent. It'll tell you everything. Dr. Block just mentioned that he's seen 90,000 times on Google. How do we know this? Google Analytics told him so. So same way, Google will tell you how you are doing with Google Lighthouse Score, page by page. And you just have to find out where your scores are low and fix it. Again, because Google algorithms are changing and the rules are changing, your score will change, even though you didn't touch your page let's say for 6 months. So when it does, you have to go back and fix the things that Google now wants you to fix. So the key is, you need to work on these 6 areas. You need to have teams to work on them, and they just have to keep chugging away. The good news is you as a dentist, your time is really valuable. Your team's time is really valuable. And also your team doesn't have the experience. So hiring someone who knows what they're doing and then making sure they're doing it daily, weekly, monthly, and holding them accountable, I think is key. Anytime you see the number of new patients you're getting dropped, then that's a clear sign that something perhaps is not working. So you have to stay on top of it. You don't have to do the work as the business owner, but you need to kind of know the metrics and stay on top of the metrics.
So what you're saying is it's not essentially a one and done thing. Once you've reached this like peak of really just crushing SEO, you just ride that wave. You got to keep on it and keep up with the algorithms or the changes and keep improving over time. And as you do that, your SEO will improve, and the more times patients see you on Google will improve.
100%. It's think of it like Eric today versus Eric, right after university, right? You have honed your skills. I mean, you can do things much more efficiently at a much higher quality today versus 20 years ago. But I was listening to a book, and still am listening to this, called Grit. It's by Angela Duckworth. And she talks about this concept of deliberate practice. And she said, it's just not practice, it's deliberate practice. It's not like, oh, just go for a run every day. Every day when you go for a run, you need to have goals. Okay, yesterday I was able to finish it in, 54 minutes. Let me see if I can do it in 53 minutes, right? So you set goals and you keep at it. And those goals have to be set precisely, and you have to work on it. That's how you continue to improve as a dentist. And that's what the Dr. Coises, the best of the best, do. They set targets, they work on it, they up their game. Similarly, you need to set targets for SEO. Again, not just SEO as a whole, but individual pieces I just touched on. And then somebody has to go to work on it. And then you have to see, am I hitting it? Are we not? And then keep upping those goals. So for example, NAP consistency, if you are only having like 20 pages that have consistent information, perhaps in 3 months, you want that number to be 25 pages. So you have to set targets, work on it, and it's going to take effort. The good news is somebody else can do this for you as long as they know what they're doing and they have the team and the experts to do it. One person can't do it. 10 people can't do it. Today, in our case, we have 250 people taking care of 500 doctors. So you need a large team of experts who all work together. And that's the secret, for your practice getting better and better, and you getting better results over time. Most marketing gets more expensive over time, like ads. The cost of ads will keep rising over time. But this is one of those things, if done right, your cost of a new patient should continue to come down because you're getting better and better results because you're building on what you did last week. Just like a clinician, right? You're building on what you learned last year or the year before to be a better dentist today. So you almost kind of benefit from all the work you've put in over the prior 18 years, in the 19th year, right? Same kind of a concept. But that's a great question, Eric.
My goal when I go jogging is to not have to call my wife to come pick me up. I need to make it home. That's my goal.
That's actually a great place to start for sure.
I just wanted to jump back to keywords. We're ranking for 100 keywords on the top page of Google. When you say keywords, it means like crown near me or veneer near me, or if I'm a sleep apnea specialist, it would be more like sleep apnea near me. Focusing on those keywords. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. You are 100% right. So a keyword is something that real people in your neighborhood are typing in to find the different things you do. And the mistake a lot of practice owners make is they kind of try to guess these keywords. You shouldn't guess. You should literally log into Google Analytics. So the monthly report we send to you literally will have all the keywords you're ranking for. And it has 2 different tables. The ones you're ranking for in the top 10 results, which is kind of what's driving your business, and the ones that are ranking, in the top 10, but up to top 100. So the ones that are still not driving your business, but perhaps could drive your business. Your goal should be to pick the right keywords. For example, you say, okay, I want to grow 4 high-value services: implants, veneers, crowns, sedation dentistry. I'm making this up. So you can say, okay, for sedation, I'm going to look at all the keywords people are typing in. So you can log into Google Analytics, or our clients would go into their monthly report and look at all the keywords. They'll type in the word sedation to screen out all the keywords to do with sedation. Some of them, they're probably in the top 10. Great. Keep doing that. But there might be other keywords that they're not in the top 10. For example, some people might even type, afraid to go to a dentist, pain-free dentistry, because, sedation usually is the solution for those who don't like the pain of dentistry and the suffering that they perceive to come with dentistry. So you have to just spend some time, figure out those keywords, and then start pushing them up. So the goal here is not to rank for that one keyword, but rather rank for many keywords around sedation. So let's say you might say, I want to rank for 15, 20 keywords, because each one might only contribute 30 people, 100 people, but 20 or 30 of those combined will contribute 1,000 people in your community who are looking for sedation. So now you grow your sedation practice. Same way, implants, general dentistry, emergency dentistry. You can look at these as buckets and try to increase the number of keywords that are ranking, that actual people are typing in, therefore getting in front of hundreds of people for that particular type of thing you offer.
So I want to take a deeper dive into NAP and NAP, and that's because we actually struggled with this. We actually have, my office is composed of two units, 201 and 204. We bought another unit many years ago to expand the office, and we actually thought it'd be helpful to have Acton Dental Associates and Acton Dental Implant Center. We thought that by naming the office, two different names, it would spread awareness and would help us on Google, but it actually probably hurt us. And then also, we're unit number 204, but often that would be suite number 204 or unit with the number sign 204, sometimes without. Can you explain how that affected us and all about NAP?
Yeah, great question. So from Google's perspective, what they want is consistency. So they want to see one name for your business, like having two names. One is an implant center and the other one, the regular practice, was not necessarily a good idea. So even though you might have thought that's a good idea, perhaps it came back to bite you. Second, same thing with the address. They want to see a single address, right? So again, having two unit numbers is a problem. So NAP is just like, you becoming a better clinician over time by working on it, you have to work on it. So think of the internet like the wild, wild west. So instead of WW being World Wide Web, just think of it as the wild, wild west. So, in the wild, wild west, there's no person who was in charge, right? Everybody for themselves, everybody had a gun and the strongest one. And, there were these shelf-appointed sheriffs. I've seen those cowboy movies. I don't know if it's accurate, but that's my impression of the Wild Wild West. Same thing, right? There's nobody controlling the internet. There's no single person who's setting all the rules. Anybody can build a website from any country, any city, state, and they can do anything they want. There's no rules. So, and many of them want to make money by running directory websites. Of course, the names we are familiar with are like City Search, Yelp, US News, Google My Maps itself is kind of a directory. Facebook has a directory of businesses. So there are hundreds of these sites, and these people don't report to you, meaning they don't have to get your permission to list your information. The way the internet works is anybody can do anything and share any information. So they want to make money, and the way they do that is they buy a database or they scrape the internet and start populating, list of businesses, millions of businesses. When you're adding millions of businesses, you don't know if the information on each one of these is correct. You don't even care because these people are not paying you, so they can't scream at you, and they can't, yell at you because they're not your customers. So you can do anything you want. So because it's that wild, wild west nature, even after a team starts working on it, these problems will persist. So you will never get to 100%. Imagine a dentist who calls themselves, I'm 100%. I have learned everything in dentistry. That person doesn't exist. Most people who are smart knows there's more to learn, there's more to figure out. Same way, the question is, you can go from the bottom 0% or 5% to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and perhaps even to 70, 80%. But it never is done. The good news is, Even though you might feel like, oh, I'm never near 100%, it's okay because you just have to beat your competition. You just have to be better than like we talked about, 5% get all the benefit. You have to be in the top 5%. I mean, in a real exam like SAT, right? You don't have to be number one in the country. You just have to be in the top whatever percentile that university looks at, when selecting candidates or students, right? Same thing here. You just have to be in the top 5%. So if you keep at it. So with you, Dr. Eric, we have been at it. So it just gets better and better. So the number of profiles that have consistent information grows and grows and grows. That's the key. We have to just keep improving the number of profiles with consistent information.
Yeah, and Google's updates keep changing. Can you talk about their new update regarding original content?
Yeah, that's a big update Google did, and that has impacted millions and millions or tens of millions of websites, if not more. And pretty much they called it human first. And the reason they called it human first is people, they're lazy, they think they're smarter than Google. And I guess when they discovered ChatGPT, I guess in March of last year, some people started using ChatGPT to write content. Of course, in the beginning, Google didn't punish them for it because it hasn't updated its algorithm, but then they started slamming them. Not only were they punishing them, they were literally putting them in the Google jail. So now it's going to take you a lot more work to get out of that jail. So obviously that was really focused on stopping all AI, whether it's Gemini or ChatGPT or you name it, or Grok from Elon Musk, X.AI, from creating content that you can use. But also it went beyond that. They started redefining how content should be done. Google does this all the time. Why? Because remember, they are in the business of making $237 billion from ads. So, and that number has to keep growing every year. So they have to keep making SEO harder and harder. So anybody who's getting free traffic, they'll try to kick you out by changing the algorithm. I mean, that's why we need this army, and that army is constantly working on it. So our clients are always ahead of the game, and just, we add it and we work on it. So we had to go through and change Dr. Eric's pages, many of them, because of this update. Not because we used ChatGPT, but there were other changes in that update that impacted him. And so we had to deal with the other changes. Obviously, never, ever use AI to write content if you want Google to rank you. And Google made it very, very clear with this update, but that's common sense. Remember, if anybody can use AI to create content that Google will rank you, that means 100% of them will rank, which means Google's ad business will go to zero. So Google has to use this idea of righteousness or doing the right thing and start punishing everyone who they deem do the wrong thing. So in their mind, using ChatGPT to pretend to be a human is the wrong thing. So anyway, so it's an important update. You have to have 400 words of content. They have to be written a certain way. And obviously it has to be written by real people who know what they're talking about. Then we have to incorporate your bio. That's where Google EEAT comes in the right way. So it's attributed to you as the practice owner. So all those things have to be done precisely if you want to benefit from, being the top 5% of SEO.
Thanks for clarifying that. What about, SEO is not the only thing. Can you just discuss about landing pages to encourage patients to call? I know there may be some confusion. I know I was confused initially about my website, about SEO, and what a landing page is. Can you explain the differences and why they're important?
Yeah, so, patients are human beings just like you and I. And we have to choose a doctor. So in the beginning, we start by finding the doctor. That's where Google comes in, to help find the doctor. Because if you start Googling things and you show up, that's the finding part. The second one is, just because they found you doesn't mean they're going to be your patient. They have to choose you. So why should they choose you versus your competition? Let's say they find 5 people on Google. Why should they pick you for practice, right? Now Google's power kind of comes down significantly. Only thing they're able to do is with reviews, they can influence people saying, oh, he's really good. He has 150 reviews or 300 reviews and 4.7 stars, right? So that is a signal that helps us choose someone, but that's not the only signal. They will go to your website. And let's say they, type in dental implants or they're looking for implants and they go to your implant page. How do you help them choose you? Through what we call the landing page, which is the main implant page. I'm using implant as an example. You can apply this to any kind of landing page. Obviously, one is, cases, right? And again, a lot of doctors make a cardinal mistake, which is they get so caught up on close-ups, which another dentist would appreciate, or another dentist at a conference would appreciate, because they see all the nuances and all the stuff you have done, as a dentist, which is all in the details, right? But the average person has no idea what that even means. For them, it's just ugly close up. Versus, show me the transformation. Show me how this person smiled before you worked on them and how they smiled today. To them, that is worth a brand new car, because they were thinking of buying that car, or they were thinking of getting a new smile. They're like, yeah, I'm going to get this new smile. I'm like 45 and, my kids are older and they don't want to spend any time with me. So why am I wasting my time and money on them? Let me just invest that 30 grand on myself and have this smile for the next 20 years. Or I'm in certain level of management or certain kind of a job, and for me to keep moving up, I need that smile. Right now, I don't smile at anybody. I don't talk to people because I hate those missing teeth or the crooked teeth or whatever the issue is, right? Now, those full face after speaks to them, so work on those, create those, get those full face afters. And then, of course, write it as a case. Again, we get into techniques and methodologies of how to do that. Like most things in life, you can't become a world-class dentist in 2 minutes or 2 days or 2 years. You have to keep at it for several years. This is something you have to think in multi-year terms. Because if you start thinking, oh, I snap a finger and I'm this magical dentist that everybody can't wait to see, it's not going to happen. Partly you have to get those cases, and then partly you have to get those pictures, and then partly you need to know how to share that. So we work with our doctors on doing that. And in that lifelong journey, the goal is, 2 cases done well, is better than 1, right? 1 is better than 0. So don't, just like we talked about NAP, it's not about I'm great or I suck. It's rather, am I improving? Am I getting better? Same thing here. Am I getting better? So always look at the progress you're making. Remember, 2 is 100% improvement or double the improvement of 1. And 1 is infinitely better than 0. So keep that in mind. And again, your first case may not be the best case, the way you took it or the way you did it. That's okay. Then once you start getting really better cases, then get rid of that, crappy case or crappy picture, right? So it's really, really important. The cases are really important. Another thing that you might want to do is, simple 45-second videos, just saying, hello, I'm Dr. Block. Welcome to my implants page. I've been doing implants for the last 10 years. I have special training, and, you can see some of the cases I've done. Call my office. I would really love to help you. If the free consultation, call my office and book one, and I would love to speak to you. Or some of you, if you're doing virtual consultations, you can say, hey, send in the pictures. Let me take a look and get back to you, right? Whatever it is. 45 seconds, the key points there is hello, welcome, just they feel like they like you already. Remember, we do business with those we like. So if I have to choose between Eric I like and his competition I don't, I'm going to go with Eric I like. Simple thing. He's down to earth. He speaks in language I understand. He's not talking at me. He's just somebody who's just like me, somebody I can relate to. Because one of the biggest fears is, I can't talk to my doctor. I can't express myself. And if I can't really clearly express myself, then I'm going to waste my money, right? I'm going to waste, and I'm going to, go backwards because he doesn't listen. He can't listen. He's not going to help me. So help them overcome those fears. Help them like you. So help them like you. Use cases to convince them that this is not your first rodeo. You have really created amazing outcomes. Again, don't do what other dentists do. Do what your customers want you to do, which is show the outcomes, the full face.
That's great, man. Great advice. Ultimately, you want to get those patients to call your office. We're getting about 16 new patient calls a month. Can you tell the listeners out there how they can get similar results?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would recommend what you did 4+ years ago, which is have a meeting with our marketing strategist, Lila Stone. And pretty much we went through and told you where you stood. Like, how are you doing on NAP? How are you doing on Lighthouse Score? How are you doing on original content? All the things that are critical for SEO success. And then, we gave you a 12-month blueprint, a plan, where we know if we do those things, you will get to the top 5%. You will, rank for 100 or more keywords. And more importantly, you will get at least 20 new patients a month just from Google. Again, how do we know that? Because we track it. So, I hope you found this useful. The link is ekwa.com/MSMSFD. ekwa.com/MSMSFD. We'll put it on show notes as well. Go sign up. It's a $900 value. It's our gift to you, because what we talked about is general tips, but this meeting will help you get very specific around your practice. It'll give you a report card on where you stand, and more importantly, it'll give you a blueprint on how you can change your your future in the next 12 months, at least as far as Google and SEO are concerned.
Yeah, Naren, thanks so much. I think this is a great look into my office as a case study. Again, Naren Arulrajah, the CEO of Ekwa Marketing. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks again for listening to the Stress Free Dentist podcast. And don't hesitate to get in touch with me at info@thestressfreedentist.com. And if you haven't already, please subscribe on your favorite platform and leave us a review. Until the next episode, I'm Dr. Eric Block, the Stress Free Dentist.